one of the mantras, maybe the best known mantra that we as a people have relied upon and has become really our approach to Torah is those famous words that Klal Yisrael chanted at Har Sinai of Na'asa ונשמע. Right? Na'asa ונשמע. It's interesting if you look at the Psukim themselves in this week's parsha in Yitro, where it talks about Kabbalah Satayra, there it's not mentioned. The pasuk just says, "Vayanu kolam yachdav, vayimru kolash liber Hashem nasa." We will do everything that God told us to do. It's only later on when this story is reviewed again in Parshas Mishpatim, where there we do find the Na'asa ונשמע. And that's a discussion for a different time. Why is it broken up in this kind of a way? But Na'asa ונשמע became something that the Chazal tell us even the Malachei Hasharis were flabbergasted. They couldn't believe it. They said, "Mi gila razel banai." Right? The Rebbe Shalom said, "Who told this secret? Who revealed this great mystery?" Right? It's a lashon shemalachei hasharis mishtamshim by. It was a phenomena, and it kept us, and it has kept us for all these generations. So let's understand what is the significance, but in this mantra of Na'asa ונשמע. And the Chazal tell us that when the Jews chanted Na'asa ונשמע, so there came malachim, right, whatever it is, shishim riboy malachim times 2. For every Jew came 2 malachim, and each one gave them a crown. So each Jew was crowned, one for Na'asa and one for Nishma. So what's the phenomena? So if you think about it, Na'asa, the fact just that they said Na'asa, what do we always say? Shehigdimu, that they said Na'asa before Nishma. So that means Na'asa in its own right seems to be, unbelievable approach to Avodas Hashem. And that's what it was all about. It was all about that they said Na'asa before Nishma. And how do we explain it? The way we usually explain it is that they took the Torah sight unseen. They didn't ask to take it for a test drive. They didn't ask to say, "Let me see the small print. Let me tell us." We always say, they didn't say, "What does it say?" They just said, "We take it. We're all in." And it's a tremendous avodah. It's an avodah that demonstrates strength, but courage, but more than that, emunah, belief, trust in the Rabbeinu Shalom. Right? Trust that, hey, Rabbeinu Shalom, if you're telling me this is good for me, then I take it. I don't have to ask you why. I trust you. The ava that we have between us is so strong, is so powerful, that if you tell me, here, this is good for you, this is right for you, I take it. No shaila about it. So Na'asa was tremendous. But what's the nishma? And you get a crown for Na'asa, I understand that also. But it seems that there's a double crown. If you're getting the crown because you said Na'asa sight unseen, so get one crown. What's the second crown for? What's the nishma? What more came to the table with nishma? Does nishma mean that, obviously when they say Na'asa, they're saying, we're taking it now, even though we don't know what it is. Of course, going forward, you're going to have to tell us what it says. If not, we won't know what to do. So nishma is what? And then you'll tell us what to do? Okay, of course. There's nothing new in that. Of course you're going to have to tell me what to do. If not, I don't know what to do. So what, Chanoch, you hear? I'm speaking to Chanoch here. Do you hear the question? What is the crown? What is the significance of the nishma? The Na'asa we know, but what's the nishma? They used to say it like this, that besides that, Na'asa, of course, demonstrates my trust in you, Rabbeinu Shalom, that I believe in you, that I believe that you know what's right for me, and you only give me something that's good for me. Therefore, I'm willing to take it sight unseen, but it really goes deeper than that. Our Na'asa was a demonstration that the Jew said, Rabbeinu Shalom, we are going to keep this Torah because you said so. And only because you said so. Not because we understand it, not because it makes sense to us, because if we're going to approach it and say, I'm doing it because it's talks to me, because it speaks to me, because I understand it and it makes sense to me, then whose will am I doing? Then I'm doing my will. I'm doing my will. It makes sense to me. This is good. I'm going to do it. So the avodah of Na'aseh was, not only are we taking it before we know, but in fact, even after we know what to do, we're still going to do it only because you said so, not because we understand it, not because we have an appreciation for it, not because we have a love, a depth of understanding of it. No, we're doing it because you said so, not because it makes sense to us. And that's a tremendous avodah, and that's the right way to approach a mitzvah. What's the best way to ensure that you will only do a mitzvah because Rabbi Shalom, you said so, not because I understand it, not because it makes sense to me? The best way to do it is don't understand it. If somebody will come to you and say, let me explain to you a little bit about the significance of what tefillin is and what it means. Guy says, you come, let's learn the Sefer HaChinuch on the mitzvah of tefillin. No, I don't want to hear it. The minute I hear it, you're poisoning the water. Now, the next day that I put on tefillin, how do you want me to do it? Because Rabbi Shalom, you said so. Now I'm doing it because I understand it. So the best way to ensure that you will keep the Na'aseh unadulterated is not to learn one drop of Torah. Just learn, you get a little pamphlet that says what you're supposed to do, instructions, but not limud ha-Torah, not amelus in Torah, not delving into leaving, not the way we learn Torah, which is we don't leave one rock unturned, like they say. One stone unturned. No, don't do that. And Taka, that's what they said first. They said Na'aseh. But then they came back and they said, no, Rabbi, but we love your Torah. We want to have a relationship with you, an intimacy with you that comes understanding Chachmas Elikus. We want to delve into every little bit of it, even though we might lose some of the Na'aseh. We're going to work to stay committed that when we do the mitzvah, we do it only because of Na'aseh. But even if we have to be Mesiras Nefesh and lose some of that spiritual gain that comes from Na'aseh, we want the Nishma. And therefore they got a crown for Nishma. Nishma was a tremendous madrega. In fact, Nishma, that was the unbelievable madrega. The Malachim, when they saw that, they were like, whoa. They understand the right thing to do. We do it because we say to God, listen, just tell me what to do. I'm a malach. I don't have no free will. I don't have any. I just do what you tell me to do. You know what I mean? And the Yidden said, no. We understand the avodas Na'aseh, but we're not giving up on the Nishma. We're committed to the Nishma. And that is what has kept us through the generations. Thank you for listening.